When you wrote this op-ed, it was the height of Me Too. Legions of powerful men being canceled, losing their jobs. Did you want that to happen to Johnny Depp?
Of course not. It wasn't about him. This was a hoax, according to his team.
Amber Heard, after facing a ton of humiliation from people across the globe, has now begun to make some startling revelations regarding the real events surrounding her marriage. It is no secret that she has alleged Johnny Depp to have abused and harassed her while they were married. Allegations included that of domestic violence and severe misconduct to the point that things got extremely dangerous. However, after a lengthy trial in the U.S. courts, the verdict was announced, and it came against Heard. While Johnny's claims of innocence were proven correct, Heard was labeled as a liar. Now, however, the woman has spoken up regarding the fake photos of herself where she appeared to be beaten up and how they were sold to TMZ. Let's have a look in this video. Before we go ahead and dive into whether the TJ Maxx photos were real, let's first have a look at what actually went down. Is Amber Heard actually going broke? Amber Heard truly did appear to be watching her spending now that she had to pay $8.4 million in compensation to her ex-husband Johnny Depp. On Thursday, the Aquaman star was seen shopping at TJ Maxx, a bargain retailer in the Hamptons. Before being sentenced to pay millions for making defamatory remarks, sources told the Post in early June that the 36-year-old actress is poor as a result of high legal costs related to her and Depp's explosive trial. Elaine Bredehoft, the actress's attorney, said when questioned if she had the financial resources to pay the jury's verdict, "Oh no, absolutely not." Heard was shopping at a TJ Maxx in Bridgehampton, New York, where the typical property costs about $3.8 million per Zillow, so it's safe to assume she isn't using all of her credit cards there. Heard may be seen in photos snapped by a sly shopper while shopping wearing pants and an oversized white button-down t-shirt. Early in June, sources claimed to the Post that the 36-year-old actress is poor as a result of high legal costs related to her and Depp's shocking trial. Whitney Henriquez, who has been by her sister's side throughout the trial and provided testimony in her favor, joined her. What, if anything, Heard purchased at TJ Maxx is unknown. The Post has been informed by many sources that Heard was depending on her homeowner's insurance policy to pay for her legal representation. After Heard claimed in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed that she had become a, quote, public figure symbolizing domestic abuse, unquote, Depp sued her for $50 million and prevailed in all three of his defamation allegations. In contrast, Heard's $100 million countersuit against the Pirates of the Caribbean yielded only partial success in the three defamation allegations she brought. According to the Celebrity Net Worth website and other sources, her net worth has been estimated to be between $1.5 million and $2.5 million, which is a far cry from the amount she owes Depp. According to testimony given in court, Heard received $1 million for the 2018 film Aquaman and an additional $2 million for the sequel, which will be released in 2019. She now plays a much smaller part in the film. Heard also never followed through on her pledge to give the $7 million she earned from Depp as part of their 2016 divorce settlement to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles and the American Civil Liberties Union. The Amber Heard TJ Maxx story initially looked too unbelievable to be true. The location where she was seen and how the video was recorded both have several discrepancies that don't add up. Radar Online, however, has lately published a more thorough evidence report that contends the actress faked the entire incident with her sister. There is no way a photographer wouldn't desire credit for shooting a picture that would make all the headlines across the world, claims an expert who deals with these sorts of paparazzi material. More evidence points to Amber Heard's sister being the photographer of the photos and the video. The actress can be seen in the video leaving what looks to be a basket full of TJ Maxx items unsecured as soon as she becomes aware that she is being watched. Amber Heard received a lot of compassion when the first story said she was poor or experiencing financial difficulties, but the evidence already suggests that she is doing this new prank to make others feel bad for her. She may have intended the public to stop paying attention to her case once the trial ended in failure, or she may have tried to project the image of a poor person unable to compensate Johnny Depp. Whatever the situation may be, even for her, this is a new low. Her closest circle has been complaining about YouTubers and celebrity gossip websites harassing her as recently as last Wednesday. Now that it's out there, it's not doing her any favors. So was Amber Heard's plan successful? As we've previously stated, it's almost as if Amber Heard's PR staff is unable to inform her that these manufactured antics are not in her best interests. The photos were initially sold to TMZ, who just so happens to be so fortunate to consistently score scoops like this one. Additionally, no celebrity is ever seen in the Hamptons merely walking the streets, so photographers often avoid such places. Amber Heard could have been exposed as a liar once more, and in order to deal with the fallout, she has to hire a new PR agency. To avoid being caught in the act, let the experts handle the situation. Regardless of the intentions and the outcome, TJ Maxx must love all the publicity that comes with this. So, is there an update on what Amber Heard may do next? Yesterday, the jury's decision in the libel case between Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard was revealed, bringing to an end one of the most high-profile court cases of the 21st century after just a few days of deliberation. After the jury unanimously ruled in Johnny Depp's favor and awarded him $15 million in damages after concluding that Heard had genuinely slandered him in 2018, it appears that Ms. Heard already has plans to appeal the decision. Many people are curious about Amber Heard's future plans because she has spent her whole career in the spotlight. Aside from the landmark libel lawsuit, Heard and her one-year-old daughter, Unock Page, lead relatively low-profile lives in the California desert in Yucca Valley. She doesn't seem to have other projects lined up until the Aquaman sequel opens in theaters early next year, which might be problematic given the significant damages she must pay to her ex-husband. Heard's acting career was clearly benefited by her connections to her ex-portrayal husbands of the renowned Captain Jack Sparrow, and some may claim that since that connection was severed, much like Mr. Depp's finger during their relationship, her career has suffered. Although Ms. Heard's reputation appears to be primarily bad in the public eye, and the jury found in Mr. Depp's favor in this case, it is a well-known truth that Hollywood is a fickle industry that is generally regarded to be forgiving. The first half of Amber Heard's interview with NBC News' Savannah Guthrie aired on Tuesday's Today Show. And in her first interview since her defamation trial against Johnny Depp was overturned, the actress stood by her testimony and discussed the trial's emotional toll.
To my dying day, will stand by every word of my testimony.
Later she added, "I spoke truth to power, and I paid the price." Heard told Guthrie, during the 6-week trial, there were a lot of vociferous Depp fans.
This was the most humiliating and horrible thing I've ever been through.
I've never felt more removed from my own humanity. I felt less than human. On June 1st, a Virginia jury granted Depp $15 million in his defamation action against Heard, finding him not guilty of all 3 counts that he was defamed when Heard penned an op-ed in the Washington Post describing herself as a domestic abuse survivor. He was also generally found not guilty of defaming Heard by calling her charges a fake. One of Heard's 3 allegations that a comment from Depp's lawyer was defamatory was successful. Heard called the jury's decision surreal and distressing 2 weeks after the judgment and said the trial is an example of the social media era gone awry. The jury is not immune to that, she said, of it being impossible for an unsequestered Virginia jury to avoid seeing how the widely covered trial played out online.
Even if you think that I'm lying, you still couldn't look me in the eye and tell me that you think on social media there's been a fair representation. You cannot tell me that you think that this has been fair.
Depp lost a slander claim against the Sun in the United Kingdom. When questioned about how Depp's attorneys surely did a better job of diverting the jury from the actual issues in the U.S. trial, Heard stated Depp's lawyers certainly did a better job of distracting the jury from the real issues, unquote. The United States ruling, quote, suggests that jurors rejected Heard's basic thesis of the case, that if there was even one incidence of abuse, she should win, since her assertions would therefore be real, unquote, according to Winston Cho of The Hollywood Reporter. Depp's allegations that Heard manufactured her injuries, which she recorded with images and audio recordings to improve her career by claiming her #MeToo moment, persuaded the jury, he says. So what are your thoughts on the entire so-called fiasco from Heard? Do share them in the comments below.